So, very warm welcome you all for today's presentations on symmetry and group theory. So, as we know, the symmetry is an essential ingredient of beauty. Higher the degree of symmetry, more beautiful will be the object, isn't it? Symmetry exists all around us. It exists in life, it exists in art, it exists in animals, nature, etc. In the mathematical sense, symmetry which is associated with line or plane or point. Okay, based on the result of operation, we can say that whether the molecule has symmetry or not. So, in case if it exists in symmetry means so uh, it exists more number of symmetry exhibit more number of symmetry operations. Remember, we can say that whether the molecule has symmetry or not. With the help of these, I mean symmetry element and symmetry operations. So suppose if it is associated with line, it is called as axis of symmetry. If it is associated with plane, it is called plane of symmetry. Similarly, with the point, it is called center of symmetry. These are called symmetry elements. Okay, so symmetry and its operations are two faces of one coin, and they are closely or intercalately related to one another. So these are the building blocks of group theory. So group theory in the sense it is mathematical tool. I mean to express or to define or to develop the symmetry of a particular object. Okay. Even a Greek word it is. From Greek, symmetria means agreement in dimensions, okay, due proportions or arrangements. So you can visualize the symmetric object as well as the asymmetric object in nature. Okay, the quality of being made up of exactly similar parts facing each other or around an axis, isn't it? Suppose if this is true, then that object is symmetric. Okay, otherwise asymmetric. Here I have compared two. I mean. Um, Sketch. Okay, the first one will be the symmetric arrangement. I mean, second one is asymmetric arrangement because the first topic is made up of exactly similar parts facing each other or around an axis. Okay, so the second one is I mean the this is not exactly the sim. I mean that object is not having the similar part facing each other. So therefore it is asymmetric. Okay. So in this slide I have compiled two pictures. Uh, so in order to explain the, I mean, uh, facial symmetry of two of, I mean, human objects. So facial symmetry is the one of the specific measure of bodily symmetry. Facial bilateral symmetry is typically defined as fluctuating asymmetry of faces, comparing random differences in the facial features of two sides of the faces. But we can agree with that. So almost everyone has some degrees of asymmetry, remember, on their faces, but some cases of asymmetries are more noticeable than the other one. So in these two object, I mean, first object I have I mean, observed, I mean, symmetric behavior. As in the case of second object, some sort of, uh, disorders are there. So that means that could be, I hope, analyzed or that could be done through this spatial symmetry. Then, as I told in the beginning, then specific measure of bodily symmetry. Okay. So remember, the symmetry is an essential ingredient of beauty. Okay, so symmetry exists all around us, and many see it as being the thing of beauty. Okay, in this slide, I have compiled, I mean, three different birds. So the symmetry exists in uh, life, exist in art, exist in birds, exist in nature. Remember. So that means these birds are, best illustrated with bilateral symmetry only. As I told, that bilateral symmetry refers to organism with body shapes that are mirror images along the middle line called the sagittal plane. Okay, uh, interior organs, however, not necessarily, distributed symmetrical, but outer look, I mean, the whether this bird is symmetric or not. In order to explain this, this symmetry of behavior of these birds, bilateral symmetry is taken into account. Okay. So all are, these birds are symmetric in nature. Okay, according to the bilateral symmetry. Okay, so the vast majority of animals displays bilateral symmetry, also known as plane of symmetry. Okay, uh, this is a trait that applies to 99% of all birds, all animals. Okay, here I have compiled, I mean, uh, flowers, different flowers. Okay, they are exist in symmetry. Here I have compiled different, buildings, Taj Mahal, etc. So the Taj Mahal is a perfect symmetrical planned building with an emphasis of bilateral symmetry along a central axis on which the main features are placed. Okay, so overall, I can say that the symmetry exists in art, symmetry exists in buildings, symmetries exist in birds, animals, etc. Nature also. Okay. Okay. The symmetry of a molecule can be defined in terms of mainly, this symmetry of a particular molecule or object can be defined in terms of these two things, symmetry operations and symmetry elements. Symmetry operations and symmetry elements both are intricately related, and one doesn't exist in the absence of another. As we know, these two are the building blocks of group theory. Okay, so I can say that these two are like the two faces of one coin. Okay, okay. Now let us define what is symmetry operations. As we know, symmetry operation means it is well defined by a non-translational moment of an object. that produces new orientations that is indistinguishable from the original object. Okay, so suppose if we take box A is rotated into 90 degree, we are ended up with B state, or we are ended up with B configuration. Okay, this B configuration is indistinguishable from the A. That means orientation A is indistinguishable from the orientation B, but not necessarily identical. These are equivalent configurations. Okay, so symmetry operation means we have to do something on we have to operate molecule, isn't it? So that means it is a non-translational moment of an object that produces a new orientation. So that means the non-translational moment of object leaves molecule into new orientations that is indistinguishable from the original object. Okay. And now let us move on to the definition of symmetry elements. What is symmetry element? Okay, so in the mathematical sense, as I told in the beginning, symmetry is associated with line or plane or point. Okay, based on the result of operations, we can say whether the molecule has symmetry or not. If it is associated with the line, okay, so it is called as axis of symmetry. If it is associated with plane, it is called as plane of symmetry. Okay, if it is associated with point, it is called center of symmetry. These are called symmetry elements. So that means the line about which the rotation occurs, or the plane through which reflection takes place, or point through which inversion takes place, etc. Okay. So while explaining symmetry operations, uh, one must follow, these requirements. Remember, so what are the requirements while operating a molecule? One should know. So the first thing is the shape of the molecule should be known. The second thing, all the atoms of the molecules are assumed to be in the pre-state. They are not uh, involved in any kind of interactions like hydrogen bondings, etc. Okay, so they are free in nature. Okay, so atoms which are present in the molecules are assumed to be pre-state. And third thing, during the symmetry operation, the center of gravity of the molecule should not be altered. Okay, it remains same. It should remain same. Okay, it should not be altered. I think these are the requirement uh, one should know while operating the molecules. Okay. Molecular symmetry. I have compiled all the symmetry elements in this table. Okay, if your symmetry element is identity, identity means 360-degree rotation. It is even axis of rotation. It is okay. That means do nothing, leave all the parts in place. Okay, so this is possible only I mean 360 degree rotations only. We are ended up with, object is ended up with identical structure. This symmetry element exists in all the objects, symmetric as well as unsymmetric molecules. This is common to all. Okay. So the second symmetry element is proper rotational axis. It is called a simple rotational axis, CN, symbolically represented as CN. That means rotations by 360 degree by n about this axis. This is also called n-fold axis of symmetry. So if your operation is C2 axis of symmetry, I mean if your symmetry element is C2 axis of symmetry, then the order of this rotations is 2. That means 360 by 2 gives 180 degree rotation. Okay, so that is what. Then third one is mirror plane, as I told, through which the reflections could be made. So reflections through this plane, uh, horizontal, it may be a horizontal, or it may be a vertical, or it may be a dihedral. Horizontal planes are symbolically represented as sigma h. Okay. Uh, Vertical planes are represented as sigma v. Dihedral planes are represented as sigma t. So then last category is improper rotational axis. Improper rotational axis are symbolically represented as SN. It is also called alternative rotational axis. In this, operations or symmetry elements, it includes two operations: rotation followed by reflection. Initially, the rotation by 360 degree by n is carried out, which is followed by the reflection through a mirror plane, which must be perpendicular to that rotational axis. So this is what improper axis of rotation. Okay. So identity is identity means doing nothing on the molecule. Then the proper axis of rotations are symbolically represented as Cn. N stands for the order of rotation. It is also called n-fold axis of symmetry. Third one is mirror plane. Mirror planes are classified into three categories. One is horizontal plane. Normally it is called as molecular plane. The second one is vertical plane. Third one is dihedral plane. Okay, through which reflections could be made. And fourth, symmetry element is inversion center, that is symbolically represented as I. That means inversions through this point. Inversions through this point means inversions through the gravity. Inversions through the mid of that molecule. Okay, so there you can balance the molecule also. Remember. So then is last category of that symmetry element is improper axis of rotation. It is symbolically represented as Sn. It is also called as alternative rotational axis. Also called rotation reflection axis. Okay. That means it includes two operations. One is initially it is molecule or object is carried out rotations, which is followed by reflections. Rotation by 360 by n degree by n followed by the reflections through a plane which is perpendicular to the axis. I told all the molecules have this element. Remember, identity operation amounts to doing nothing to the molecule. Okay, so leaves any molecule completely unchanged. Leave any molecule completely unchanged. So this situation can be visualized either we do not do anything on the molecule, leave it alone. Okay. Otherwise, we rotate the molecule by 360 degrees. simple rotational axis. Symbolically, it is represented as Cn. This is an imaginary axis passing through the molecule, okay, over which rotations can be carried out, okay, to take the molecule from one orientation to the another equivalent orientation. So it is symbolically represented as Cn, where n is the order of the axis. It is represented as 360 degree by theta. Theta is an angle of rotation. If it is C2 axis of symmetry means order of the axis is 2, that must be equals to 360 by 180 degree rotation. Okay. C3 means 120 degree rotation. C4 means 90 degree rotation. C6 means 60 degree rotation. Okay, like that you have to understand. I mean, n-fold axis of rotation. To explain n-fold axis of rotation. So it is best illustrated with water. So here water means H2O. It has two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. Remember, oxygen is situated in the middle of that molecule. Here I have labeled one hydrogen as a red mark, another hydrogen as a H mark, okay, black mark. So after 180 degree rotations, what will happen? So after 180 degree rotations, the red hydrogen is replaced by black hydrogen. Black hydrogen is replaced by red hydrogen, vice versa. Okay. So I mean this 180 degree rotations gives I mean the orientation B. This is I mean equivalent configuration. It is indistinguishable from the original one, original object A. So therefore it is symmetric. Okay. So here the order of axis is 2, 360 by 180. It is denoted as C2 axis. I mean this rotational axis is denoted as C2 axis. That means two-fold rotational axis. Carry out the rotation operation twice. Put each hydrogen atom back into original position. So it is same as the identity operation. That means it is 360 degree rotation. That means C2 square. Two times if you operate the object uh, through this rotational axis by 180 degree rotation, we are ended up with identity only. Subscript, I mean superscript 2 indicates that the operation is carried out twice. C2 operation is carried out twice. Ammonia means NH3 it is, okay. So the order of axis for this is 3. I mean 120 degree rotations. I mean after 120 degree rotations we are ended up with indistinguishable structure or orientations. So therefore this molecule is having a C3 axis of rotation. Okay. So this C3 axis is then a principal axis through which rotations could be made. Okay, it has two axes of rotation. One is C3 axis of rotation, another one is C2 axis of rotation. So here C3 is having highest order of rotation. Therefore, it is considering as axis of rotational axis. Remember, principal axis. Remaining C2 axis are called subsidiary axis. Okay, because its order, I mean order of rotation is smaller. Okay. The molecules with more than one axis of symmetry, molecule with more than one axis of symmetry, they are categorized into one principal axis, another one is subsidiary axis. So rotational axis with the highest value of n is designated as a principal rotational axis. Other axis with the lower value of n is designated as subsidiary axis or secondary rotational axis. So direction of the principal rotational axis is taken as z axis, that is vertical also, okay, in the molecule for the purpose of labeling in the symmetry. Benzene molecule means it is a sp2 hybridized molecule. So this molecule has different, I mean, rotational axes. One is C6 axis, another one is C2 axis. Here C6 axis is called principal axis of rotation. C2 axis are called as subsidiary axis. Okay, additional axis these are. So this C6 has more order also. I mean, axis of rotation has it has I mean n of 6. Okay, therefore this C6 axis are called principal axis. C2 axis are called subsidiary. Subsidiary axis in the sense this is having, I mean, this C2 axis are having uh, less order rotations. Okay, one axis of same order. It has three C2 axes. So rotational axis must be passing through the maximum number of atoms. Remember, it's designated as a principal rotational axis. So that will that is passing through the bond axis only. Okay, so that axis is parallel to your molecular plane also. Remember. So the rotational axis means which must passing through the maximum number of atoms is designated as a principal rotational axis. In the case molecule with more than one axis of same order. Okay. So these molecules are having infinite C2 axis of symmetry and C infinity axis of symmetry. So the rotational angle for these symmetry operations do not exactly 0, but tends to be or almost equals to 0. Okay, so it is infinite. So HCl has C infinity axis of rotations. H2 has C infinity and infinite C2 axis. Both it has. Okay. Symbolically represented as sigma. Plane means it is an imaginary plane within the molecule which divide or bisects the molecule into two parts, two equal halves. Okay, which are the mirror images of each other. That is called plane of symmetry. A plane exists in the molecule and is supposed to be having both its sides as reflecting. Both its sides as reflecting. Plane exists in the molecule and supposed to be having both its sides as reflected. It is compulsion here. Okay. So it is an imaginary plane within the molecule which bisects or divide it into two parts which are the mirror images of each other. Okay. So in C2A point group molecule like water, pyridine, okay, SO2, it has a sigma V plane, vertical plane. C2V point group has two sigma V planes, vertical planes. Okay. So these planes, imaginary plane within the molecule, which divide into two parts, divide it into two parts, which are the mirror images of each other. In other words, it's an imaginary plane within a molecule. It should bisect the molecule into two equal halves. Then the mirror image of one part is superimposed with the other part. Then it is said to be a plane of symmetry. Different mirror planes, vertical planes, horizontal planes, and so vertical planes are symbolically represented as sigma V. Horizontal plane is symbolized as sigma H. Diagonal plane is symbolically represented as sigma D. V stands for vertical, H stands for horizontal, D stands for, subscript D stands for dihedral. Vertical means plane within the molecule along with the principal axis. This is parallel or it meets the principal axis, principal rotational axis, always. It is vertical. Plane within the molecule perpendicular to the principal axis is horizontal. Okay. Then plane within a molecule along the principal rotational axis but lies between the two consecutive C2 axes that are perpendicular to the principal axis. Okay. So here this is the dihedral plane. So this plane of the molecule, see, along the principal axis, remember, this is along the principal axis, but lies between the two, C2 axis. See here, it lies between the two C2 axis. Lies between the two C2 axis. In between this, C2 axis. It is called as a dihedral plane. Molecule along the principal axis is called vertical plane. It is symbolically represented as sigma V. It is best illustrated with water molecule. It has two sigma V's. Okay. One passing through the oxygen atom, one passing through the oxygen atom, and in between two hydrogen. Okay. So this one is passing through oxygen atom and in between the two hydrogens. Okay, in between the two hydrogen atom. It is passing through oxygen. Okay. Another plane. Another plane means this one. This plane. Okay. This sigma V. Passing through the oxygen and two hydrogen atoms. That is called molecular plane. Okay. So These two are vertical plane for C2V point group molecules. Okay, 2 sigma V. It has 2 sigma V. Water has C2V point group has 2 sigma. Yeah, as far as ammonia molecule concerned, it has 3 vertical planes. Okay, uh, 3 vertical plane means they are passing through each NH bond. This molecule is having 3 NH bonds, isn't it? So therefore, each bond is passing. I mean, these vertical planes are passing through uh, each NH bond of ammonia molecules. Okay, each is passing through nitrogen atom and one hydrogen atom. So this molecule belongs to C3V point group. So BF3 has 3 sigma V, one horizontal plane because it is planar molecule. Therefore, this molecule exhibits one horizontal plane and 3 vertical planes. Vertical planes are passing through BF bond. Each BF bond in the BF3. BF3 has 3 BF bonds. Okay. So therefore, one horizontal and 3 vertical plane. So boron trichloride being the planar, it consists horizontal plane which must be perpendicular to the principal axis C3. Remember, this plane is perpendicular to the principal axis. This axis, C3 axis. Remember. Now let us take one more example for plane of symmetry, that is nickel square planar complex, nickel tetra cyano complex. It has horizontal, one horizontal plane and 4 vertical planes. This horizontal plane means it is molecular plane. All atoms are lies in this plane only. So this horizontal plane must be perpendicular to the principal axis of rotations, that is C4. Okay, and also it has 4 vertical planes also. Shall move on to another molecule, that is benzene here. So in this benzene molecule, I hope 6 vertical planes each are passing through one C2 axis and one horizontal plane that is passing through 6 carbon atom perpendicular to the principal axis of rotation, that is C6 axis. Okay, so that is also called as molecular plane for benzene molecule. In this slide, I have compiled 2 diatomic molecules. One is homonuclear diatomic molecule, another one is heteronuclear diatomic molecule. Homonuclear in the sense it is made up with same atoms. Heteronuclear means it is made up with heteroatoms. Okay, so these two molecules are distinguished through symmetry operations. Okay, so in the homonuclear diatomic molecule concerned, it has both vertical as well as horizontal planes. As in the case of heteronuclear diatomic molecules, so it has only a vertical planes. So that to be a infinite vertical planes. Okay. So H2 molecule concerned, it has one horizontal plane. Okay. Infinite vertical planes. So this slide shows there can be a molecule with no rotation of axis of symmetry, but have a plane of symmetry. Okay, uh, hydrogen oxychloride and phenol and aniline concerned, it has only a plane of symmetries. Okay, but not having a rotational axis, because phenol OH and aniline NH2 are having a free rotation around the molecule. Okay, so and uh, it doesn't have a rotational axis here. Okay, so only it has a plane of symmetry. Therefore, it is belonging to a CS point group molecule. Okay. Sigma D means it is dihedral. The angle subtended between the two similar conjugative C2 axes. That means the plane which bisects the angle subtended between two similar conjugative C2 axes. Okay. So the plane that passes through least number of atoms is called dihedral plane. This is a requirement of dihedral. Okay. Dihedral plane in the sense angle subtended between the two similar consecutive C2 axes. Angle subtended between two similar consecutive C2 axes means it is 40, I mean 90 degrees. Okay. So this benzene molecule has dihedral planes. Okay. This is best illustrated. Okay. This dihedral plane is best illustrated with benzene molecule. It is the square planar molecule. Remember, it has a C4 axis of rotations. Okay, C2 axis also. C4 axis are considering as a principal axis here. C2 axis are subsidiary axis. Okay, it has four C2 axis, subsidiary axis, one C4 axis, two dihedral planes. Now let us move on to staggered configuration of ethane. Here it also exhibit the dihedral plane. So this molecule has three dihedral planes, three C2 axis, and one C3 axis. In this molecule, I mean staggered ethane molecule, staggered conformation of ethane, a principal axis will be the C3 axis. Three C2 axes are considering as a subsidiary axis. Now let us move on to the improper axis of symmetry. It is symbolically represented as Sn. It is the product or combination axis. Okay, it is also called as alternating axis of symmetry or rotation reflection axis of symmetry. Okay, so it involves two symmetry operations. First, the rotation is carried out in a certain angle, then reflect the molecule in such a way that the plane should be perpendicular to the rotational axis. Okay, if resulting orientation is equivalent to original, then operation is said to be a rotational reflection axis of symmetry. So that means this is a compound operation combining rotation with reflections through a plane perpendicular to the CN axis. Remember, so that is a horizontal plane. Okay, so best example for this improper axis of symmetry is trans dichloroethylene molecule. So it has S2 improper axis of rotations. Okay, here in this trans dichloroethylene molecule, I mean x-axis has a twofold improper axis of rotation. Okay. Okay, now let us illustrate it with certain example for this improper axis of rotations. Trans 1,2-dichloroethane molecule, it exhibit S2, I mean improper axis of rotations along the x-axis. Remember, so that means it is an compound operations as I told in the beginning. So the rotation followed by reflection. In the beginning step, uh, 180-degree rotation gives a second orientation. That orientation is not an equivalent orientation. Okay, and after that reflection is carried out through a plane, and that I mean plane must be perpendicular to the C2 axis of rotation. Remember, so that will give you the third configurations, which is equivalent to the original one. Okay, so therefore this has S2 axis of improper axis of rotations. So C2 is followed by reflection. So that reflection axis is perpendicular to the C2 axis of rotation. Okay, so that will give you third configurations, and that configuration or equivalent. That orientation is equivalent to the original one. Okay, so therefore it has S2 axis of symmetry. So now move on to methane molecule CH4 concern. It exhibit S4 axis of improper axis of symmetry. So here 90-degree rotation is followed by reflection. Will give you S4 axis of symmetry. Now let us move on to the BF3 molecule. This molecule exhibit two S3 improper axis of symmetry. Okay, so this could be carried out like initially by C3 axis of symmetry, followed by the reflections through horizontal plane. Okay, so this will give you the S3 improper axis of symmetry. Okay, so this improper axis coincide with the proper axis as I shown in the first I mean example. Okay, so the first example is a proper axis of symmetry. The second one is improper axis of symmetry. In both the cases, we are getting same configuration of the configuration BF3 structure, isn't it? So which are equivalent to the original one. So therefore, the improper axis coincide with the improper axis. So this molecule is belonging to D3H point group. Okay, it is planar molecule. Remember. So in this, it has two S3 improper axis of symmetry. Okay. Now let us move on to eclipsed ethane. So eclipsed ethane has S3 improper axis of rotation. C3 axis of rotation is followed by reflections through horizontal plane gives S3 improper axis of symmetry. Okay. Now let us move on to the staggered ethane concern. Staggered ethane exhibit S6 improper axis of symmetry. Eclipsed has S3 improper axis of symmetry. Staggered has S6 improper axis of symmetry. Okay, so as in the case of staggered ethane concerned, C3 is symmetry operations, but C6 is not an symmetry operations, even though one could get S6 improper axis of symmetry, because this operation is ended up with equivalent configurations. Remember. So here I have illustrated this S6 improper axis of symmetry schematically. So in this both C6 operations as well as reflections are not in symmetry operations, even though one could get this S6 improper axis of symmetry. So S can exist if Cn and Ch do not. Okay. So from these observations, one could conclude like eclipse structure has Cn equals to Sn. Staggered structure has Cn equals to S2n. Okay. So in staggered ethane, C3 is an principal axis, so through which rotation is carried out. Okay. So this rotation is followed by reflections. Okay, so which will give you S6 uh, improper axis of symmetry. This is for staggered. In eclipsed case, Cn must be equals to Sn. Okay, so now let us move on to the inversion center. Okay, so inversion center is represented as I. Okay, that is also called as center of inversions. Imaginary quantities in the center of the molecule through which the reflection of each atom is carried out, resulting in the coincidence with the equivalent atom. Then it has a center of symmetry. So that means molecule is said to have a center of inversion if all the straight lines passing through the molecule meet similar atom at equal distance from the center. Okay, so that means all the atoms which are available in the molecule, they are equidistant from the inverting atoms are equidistant from the center of gravity. Okay, so that means it is not necessary to have an atom in the center. Example for that is benzene. Okay, otherwise you can take trans dichloro ethene molecule also. So that ethene trans dichloroethene molecule is not having a central atom. Okay, remember. And if an atom exists at the inversion center, it is only the atom which will not move upon inversions. Remember. So it remains as it is. I mean, central atom remains as it is. Okay, after reflection also, after inversions. Remember. So best example for that is ruthenium hexacarbonyl compound. Okay, so it is best illustrated with ruthenium complex. Okay, and again tetrahedral, triangle, pentagons do not have a center of inversion symmetry. And again, one more thing I can say that if we carried out even operations, we are ended up with identical structure. Even if we carried out odd time, then it must be I only. Okay. If we carried out even time, we are ended up with identical structure. If we carried out odd time, we are ended up with equivalent structure. Identical structure from even operations, equivalent structure from odd operations. Remember, that means In equals to E for even operations, In equals to I for odd operations. Okay. Here I have given few examples to explain the center of inversions. So gold complex exhibit center of inversions. Okay. Remaining compounds like methane, silicon, tetrachlorofluoride compound, phosphorus pentachloride, pentafluoride molecule, and cobalt complex concerned. Among these molecules, cobalt complex has a center of inversions. Remaining three, silicon tetrafluoride, phosphorus pentafluoride, and methane, okay, do not exhibit center of inversions. Okay, and in this slide, I can show that S2 improper axis of symmetry must be equals to I. Remember, so this trans 1,2 dichloroethylene molecule exhibiting, I mean, S2 improper axis of symmetry also and center of inversions also. Okay, so but this, I mean, operation is repeated. So therefore, only while I mean establishing the point group of this trans 1,2 dichloroethane molecule, this, I mean, S2 improper axis of symmetries are not taken into account. So because it is repeated, okay. So therefore, this molecule is belonging to C2H point group molecule. Okay. So it exhibits S2 along x-axis, but still, I mean, it is repeated. Okay. So therefore, I mean, this is belonging to C2H point group molecule. Even after, I mean, S2 operation, we are ended up with equivalent configurations only. Okay. Even after inversions also, we are getting, I mean, we are getting same, I mean, configuration molecule. Okay, so still this S2 operations are not taken into account because it is repeated. Okay, therefore S2 equals to. Thank you.